Hey, just real quick, I wanted to come on here and talk about the real estate market a little bit with you guys. I've been hearing a lot of people say how it's just a terrible time to buy, and I want to come and kind of give you guys the real deal about what's going on. As we all know, when the pandemic hit, home prices skyrocketed, right? It was so hard to buy a house because they were constantly being outbid by 100,000, 150,000. I heard $300,000 even, people bidding over the asking price. Houses were being put on the market one day, and then by the same day, that house was either being purchased, and if it lasted past that day, it would be maybe 2, 3 days, 5 days max for a home to be on the market during the peak of the pandemic. But it is no longer like that. Unfortunately, now a lot of home buyers are still in that mindset of not being able to purchase a home because of high prices and high interest rates. And also on the seller side, the sellers are still in that mindset of how things were during the pandemic. So I just wanted to come on here and give you guys a little bit of what I'm seeing, the research that I'm doing when I'm assessing the market. The examples that I'm going to give you are based solely on LA County because that's where I work. At the end of 2021, there was a home that sold for $852,000. A year later, it was put back on the market for $1.3 million. It stayed on the market for about a month before they lowered the price down to $999,000. As of today, this home has been on the market for 49 days. There was another home for sale at the end of 22 for $850,000. The owners took it off the market and it's now back on for $725,000. Just this year, at the beginning of January, a home was put on the market for $699,000. As of today, it is currently on the market for $599,000. So what this tells you is that it is a buyer's market now. Sellers have their homes sitting on the market and they want to sell. And that means that you have room to negotiate. Whereas before, during the pandemic, during the height of the pandemic, there was no negotiations. They didn't have to negotiate with you because there was a line wrapped around the corner, literally, of people that wanted to buy their home and wanted to pay over asking. It's not like that anymore. Now you have room to negotiate. If you're buying from a builder during the pandemic, they would just sell you a home as is. Whereas now, if you're wanting to purchase a home from a developer, you have room to get upgrades. People are giving incentives like they'll throw in a free refrigerator, they'll throw in a free dishwasher, or they'll throw in, brand new appliances for you. Before, you would have to pay for that if you're purchasing a newly built property. Sellers are giving incentive. They're paying closing costs. They weren't doing that before. Interest rates did jump high during the middle of 2022. Now it's starting to cool back down. The market is doing something that we call a market correction, where they're seeing that nobody is going to buy these homes with these high interest rates and these high house prices. So interest rates are coming down. They're not at 8% or 7% anymore. They've dropped since then. Right now, in my honest opinion, based off of my research that I'm doing about the market, the housing market in LA County, right now is a good time to buy. The ball is in the buyer's court. You can go look at a home, want to purchase the home, speak to the sellers, negotiate your prices, negotiate your deals, and they're not just going to turn you away because the houses that are still on the market, these sellers do want to sell. Now, on the other hand, if you are a seller looking to sell and your mindset is still in the frame of the peaks of the pandemic, I'm just going to tell you right now, you have missed that boat. That ship sailed. You're not going to be able to price gouge right now. I don't know about the future. Who knows what will happen? We didn't know that this pandemic was going to happen. We didn't know that the sellers were going to start acting like this when a pandemic happened. If your house is worth $750,000, you can't sell your house for $1 million in this market that we're in right now. But if you know that your house is worth $750,000 and you want to get as close to that price as possible, or even maybe a little bit above that price, you can still do it in this market. But what you cannot do, from what I see, is price gouge. You cannot raise it $200,000, $300,000 over market value and expect to sell it for that in this market. So all in all, is it a good time to buy for buyers? It's a great time to buy for buyers. The ball is in your court. Is it a good time to buy for sellers? It depends on what your goal is as a seller. If your goal is just to make a whole bunch of money, regardless of what your house is worth, then no, it's not a good time for you to sell. But if your goal is to sell your property because you want to buy another property, or because you're moving or something like that, then yes, it is a good time to sell, because there are still people who are looking for homes who will buy your home at your price if it's worth that price. But hey, don't take my word for it. Go do your own research on the market and see what you can see what you come up with, and come to your own conclusion. But I'm here today to tell you about the research that I've done. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. Let me know if you need any advice, if you have any questions about real estate. I'm always here to help. Thank you for watching. Bye.